friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
What's up out there, friends and family? We are waging war on mediocrity. Welcome to a special edition of Let's Get It Tuesday. I know last night we were just on for a motivational Monday. We're coming on this Tuesday. I just wanted to see y'all again. Last night was so phenomenal. We broke some good bread. And tonight I wanted to pop on for an encore. Had several messages today, and I thought I wanted to pop on just for a brief moment. I'm starting to see the eyes out there. If you would, shoot me a message and let the bread breaking commence. For all the people that are watching via replay, please give me about a minute as I share this to my social media outlet. What's up, Vanika? Thank you for joining us tonight out there on YouTube. I'm popping on for a little encore tonight, man. I enjoyed the conversation last night so much that I want to pop on tonight, and I wanted to pick up on a conversation, let y'all eavesdrop on a conversation that I had with my 10-year-old, my 11-year-old today. Let me share this right quick to all of my outlets. And if you all would, please share it. Write names down in the bottom as well. And so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Right now, it's a good time to be a conduit of positivity, of enthusiasm. This is a great time to be a conduit. So let's make sure that we're passing what we learn. You know, it's seed time and harvest. Let's make sure that as we're taking from the ground, that we're always putting back into the ground. And I am going to share this to a couple of more places. And we're going to get ready to break this bread. I promise I'm not going to be on long tonight. Hey, I see a couple of more eyes out there. If you would just say, give me a shout out, say hello so I can see who's out there tonight when we get ready to break this bread. One more place. One more place, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be ready to break this bread up. Share it to Bridging the Nations. Post. All right, let's go. I am the motivational teacher to the masses with a special edition of Tuesday night. I want to say happy Founders Day to all the bros out there. What's up to all the people out there on Periscope? I see YouTube is already in the house. What's up out there, Facebook? It's your boy. And for a brief moment, I want to allow you all to eavesdrop on a conversation that I had today with my 11-year-old. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Thank you for joining us out there on YouTube. Thank you for joining us tonight. If y'all would please share, like, listen to this as many times as possible. So I was talking to my 11-year-old today. And we went to work out. He's working out where he's learning how to run, like kind of doing like track workouts, although his passion is basketball. And so we were on our way back home today, and we've been on a quarantine from coronavirus, and this is his first day back. And we were riding back from the workout, and we were in the car. And he was telling me about, you know, I asked him, I said, son, how hard did you work today? If 10 was, I gave as much as I had, and 1 is like, I just kind of went through the motion. What would you rank yourself? And he gave himself a 9 for the workout. And I was in there, watched. He was working pretty hard. And we talked about how you do what you have to do. So at some point, you could do what you want to do. This is going to be a word for somebody out there. Right now, you may have to do what you have to. Right now, you may have to work the Dave Ramsey envelope system right now in order to make your money work right now. Right now, you may have to drive, you know, a 2005 car to get you from where you want to be. Doesn't mean that you were always supposed to have a 2005 car. Just mean right now, I have to do what I have to do. So in the future, I can do what I want to do. And he said, tell me more, Dad. And I gave him the example. Like inside of my family runs heart disease, and their diabetes runs all throughout both sides, my mom and my dad's side of my family. And so I was telling him when he wakes up in the morning, I'm already going to the gym. And he got the perception that I enjoy the gym. Like, okay, Dad goes to the gym all the time. It must be fun for Dad to go to the gym. And I had to help him understand, son, I go to the gym because I have to, because I want to see your children's children grow up. So I do what I have to, so I can do what I want to later. I want to be in good condition where I can chase Anthony the third, your son, or Christian's son. I want to chase them around the house. So in order for me to be in a position to do that, I got to take care of my body today. I'm doing what I have to. So in the future, I could do what I want to. Somebody need to holler at your boy out there. Right now, I know your life seems like I keep going around the same mountain and I'm not where I want to be. I'm not getting out this life what I want to get. But right now, you in the have to stove. You in the have to mode. Right now, we're building. We're bridge builders. Right now, we're building. Never apologize. Listen to your boy. Never apologize for being in the building stage. Never apologize for being in the sowing stage. There will be an opportunity where it's time to reap the harvest. Somebody holler at your boy. There will be a time where you will get to go to the ground and pull out what you put in. But right now, I'm in the have to. And there's nothing wrong with the have to phase. The have to phase prepares you for the want to phase. Right now, my wife and I, we are building. Right now, we're taking the resources, the additional money that we have at the end of the month, and we're putting it back in the ground. We're taking the additional time that we have right now, and we're making sure that we're putting it inside of our relationship. We're putting that additional time inside of our company, Williams and Williams LLC. We're putting our additional time back into our kids because right now we're in the have to phase. And I don't apologize to my friends that I'm unable to hang out with on the weekend. I don't apologize because I'm not able to go to everything that the bros are doing in Omega Psi Phi on Founders Day. I don't apologize because right now I'm doing what I have to. And see, the challenge for a lot of people is that they're doing what they want to when they should be in the have to phase. I just broke bread. We're worried about wearing Chanel. We're worried about wearing Gucci. We're worried about wearing LeBrons when we should be worried about what am I doing with my name? I'm not worried about other people's names on my body. I got to focus on what God is doing through my name. I'm in the have to right now. And see, understanding the difference between the have to stage, I'm about to break bread, the have to stage versus the want to stage. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that there's a life for you where you can do what you want to do. You can have what you want to have, and you can do what you want to do. But in the moment right now, we're building. We're building. It's going to rain. Noah sat there with that hammer and those nails, and he continued to build, not knowing that what it was going to look like when the rain fell. But in that moment, he was in the have to stage. Don't apologize for being in the have to stage. Don't apologize because you can't go to every family gathering. Don't apologize because you're not at every birthday party. Don't apologize because you can't make all of your children's basketball games right now. Hey, what's up, Angelique? Thank you for joining us. Hey, Virginia, thank you for joining us as well. Don't apologize right now because you are working overtime trying to get your household in a different situation. Don't apologize right now because you're having to do some things extraordinary to move you to the place to where you can have what you want to have, and you can do some of the wants that you want. Don't apologize right now for not being able to get your kids to PlayStation 5 because you're in building mode. Don't apologize because we can't go to Disney every year because you're in the have to mode right now. Because there will be a time, there will be a place, there will be a moment when now I can live and dibble dab in some of my wants. I am about to break bread. Identifying the season that you're in is paramount to your own self-health and your own self-care, and understanding the season that you're in is imperative to understand, where do I invest my time? Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. I'm breaking bread right now. It looked like there was a problem with Facebook, but I can't worry about what's going on Facebook because YouTube is on fire right here tonight. Don't apologize for it. I'm not apologizing to my kids because they can't do everything that every other kid is doing. I'm not apologizing to my kids because you don't get to play the new video game the day that it comes out. I'm not apologizing for it because they got to understand that you have to. You do your halves so you can do your once. We were in quarantine, and my son during quarantine, he was going to online school, and I simply texted him, "What's your wildly important goal? Do what's wildly important in the morning. Do it while you're fresh." And so we had this conversation via text message. And I said, "Son, you wake up, you do your school, and you get on the video game, and that's all you do for the rest." I said, what do you want to do? I want to be a high school basketball player. I want to be a college basketball player. I want to be an NBA basketball player. I want to be, a top scholar athlete. I said, son, if that's your goal, where are you investing your time? Your time is not some disposable resource. Your time is a resource that's meant to be invested. Invested in your wild. Don't worry about results today. Trust me on this. If you put enough seed in the ground, seed time and harvest is real. Bigger things are coming. Got to be patient. Angelique, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. And you got to appreciate the building stage. You got to appreciate the building stage. You can't become weary in the building stage because it's this building stage that lays the foundation for your wants. I'm looking at the people on this list right now. I just turned 42 a few weeks ago. The 62-year-old Anthony is dependent on a 42-year-old Anthony to build, baby, build. To build, baby, build. The 62-year-old version of Anthony has to believe that the 42-year-old version is building, because when you get 62, knees, you older, your energy level. I ain't gonna start speaking those things because all my energy level, everything gonna be great. I'm gonna break bread. All that's gonna be great at 62. But at 62, I want to move into some of the wants. But at 42, I got to be willing to do the halves so I can get to the wants. Appreciate the process. Yes, Kennard. What's up, bro? Thank you for joining us tonight. We got to move into the building phase. If you, my favorite poem, If, says that if I take one pitch and toss and I lost everything I had, I would stoop back down and build them with worn out tools. I'm telling you right now, you thought you had lost it. You thought that God had forgotten about you. You thought that you don't possess what it have. I'm telling you right now, just build, baby. Build with a smile on your, boy, I'm breaking bread. Build with a smile on your face. Understand that when Moses was building that doggone ark and he was saying it was going to rain, they were laughing at Moses. They was telling Moses, you crazy, Moses. At the same time, the same people calling Moses crazy was spending, $100,000 on Mercedes-Benz, making, that's equivalent to our decision today. And we're paying $1,500 on a car payment, and our kids barely have what they need to get from point A to point B from school. They barely have what they need, and we're struggling at the end of the month because we're trying to be in the have-to phase when we should be with the hammer and the nails. Build, baby, build. I should have called that build, baby, build. That's what I should have called it. Build, baby, build. And it's okay. I don't apologize for having to build. When I'm like when when Noah was building, Noah had the fate of all mankind riding on his decision to build. Ham, Noah's sons were all riding on Noah's shoulders while he was building. I'm telling you right now that your shoulders are broad enough. Don't you dare believe that there's something not so special about you, baby. But you got to embrace the process that I gotta build, that I have to do what I have to do before I can get to what I want to. What's up, Courtney? I see Facebook starting to catch back up. You got to get laughed at when you're building. Come on, Kennard. You're going to get laughed at. The same people going to call you overnight success. Kevin Hart had 19 years of comedy before he ever had before we knew who he was. He was building nightclub to nightclub, $50 here and $75 here. They were building. Tyler Perry was building. The motivational teacher to the masses. Right now, I am building, and I appreciate the process. Boy, I got chills all over my body. I appreciate the process because the gift has to be proven. What's up, Charles? Thank you, bro. The process has to be proven. Now, I'm gonna give you 5 ways. 5 ways I say to get to your wants. We gotta build right now. We gotta build right now. I understand that there's a gift. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose for building is understanding that there's a gifting on the inside of me. My gifting is more than my job. My gifting is more than where I am right now. My gifting is meant to bring me before great men. My gifting is meant to put me before kings and queens. My gifting, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you gotta build. That's why so many people die average, because they're worried about Chanel. They're worried about Gucci. They're worried about Prada. They're worried about all of the Mercedes and they're worried about Bentleys, and they're worried about all these external worldly objects, and they're negating the one thing that can get them to those things is building. Boy, I just broke bread. Big shout out to the Q's. Yes, sir. Friendship is essential to the soul. Believe that. Believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, like Kennard just said, you got to make a bet on yourself. You got to make a bet on the great I am working through your I am. I'm not going to be on here long, so I want to get to these 5 ways. 5 ways to get to your wants. 5 ways to appreciate the building process. 5 ways. 5 ways to get you to where right now you got to appreciate the building process, but I want to get you your whole life. Boy, I am about to break bread. Your whole life wasn't meant to be a building phase. Your whole life wasn't meant. Man, at some point where you put so much seed and you've been building and the foundation is so strong that you start reaping a harvest and you don't even know it's there. I remember when I started doing Primerica Financial Services. And Primerica Financial Services, I know some of y'all may have done it, may have not done it, but when I started selling Primerica, it opened my mind to my first $100,000. I said, man, I see a path to make $100,000. What's up, Q? I see a path to get to $100,000. And I started doing Primerica Financial Services. And I said, man, if I could just get to $100,000, and I started building. And I started building. And I did Primerica for 3 years. I went to regional vice president. I left there and I went to Morgan Stanley. I left, and man, it took me almost 8-9 years, but I made my first $100,000 in 1 calendar year. When I made it, I didn't know I made it because I was building so hard. When I got my tax return, I said, man, is this mine? Why? Because I wasn't concerned with the results. I was more engulfed in the process. I was building, ladies and gentlemen. Fall in love with the building process. 5 ways to get to your wants. You're not going to always be a builder. Don't get me wrong. There's seed time, there's harvest. Understanding where I am in my life is paramount to understanding what level of manifestation to expect. Right now, you building. But 5 ways to get to your wants. 5 ways to get to your wants. Number 1, you gotta focus on commitment and not motivation. I gotta brag on Vaniqua right here for a moment. Vaniqua goes back and listens to whatever message I do 3 and 4 times, and she #3, #4, and I can see in her mind that she's building right now, that she's investing her time in future returns. I just broke bread. She's investing her time in future returns. She's investing her time in future returns. Watching Family Matters or watching the Housewives of Atlanta, unless your goal is to be in the industry, you're not investing your time in future returns. You're actually killing time when you're putting time in areas that doesn't bring you future returns. We got to focus on the commitment and not the motivation. Thank you, Angelique. Focus on the commitment and not the motivation. Y'all know I am the motivational teacher to the masses. And I'm the teacher because I know it's all about your deity that determines your humanity. You got to go back 2 months and get that that message. It's one of them episodes of Awaken Your I Am. I focus on your deity. It's the part of you that identifies, that look like God, that builds and manifests and attracts the external to your internal. You got to focus on the commitment. Motivation has a half-life. I'm breaking bread right now. Motivation has a half-life, but the commitment says that I'm willing to give my life for this. The commitment said I'm willing to trade my time. I'm breaking bread. I'm willing to trade my time, believing in a future results. You got to focus on the commitment. You got to focus on what I said I wanted in the future is greater than what I want for right now. I got my notebook. Get these notes, dog. I'm going to break bread, Charles. When I pop on like this, it means that there's something deep down that I got to get out. If you find that you are fully committed, motivation will follow you. I don't seek motivation. Motivation follows me. I don't do these motivational Mondays or sensational Tuesdays. I do them from my overflow. There's not a deficit in my motivation because I'm committed to the process of building. I'm breaking, boy, I can run out this room right now. I'm so committed to the process of building that there can never be a drought in my land. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Mama, you got to get the early part of this. There's no drought. There's no drought in your land when your commitment is stronger than your motivation. There can never be a drought in your land. I feed people from my overflow. I have conversations with my kids. I have conversations with my coaching people, the people I coach. It's all from my overflow. It's all because I'm not focused on it's coming in a minute. I'm not focused on a result in my life. I'm not focused on the things in my life. I know if I seek ye the kingdom, all of these other things shall be added. What is the kingdom at? It's God's way of doing things and being right. It's me seeking the great I am, and the great I am awakens my boy. I'm breaking bread tonight on a Tuesday night. Somebody need to holler at your boy out there. Motivation follows me. Say that again, Beniqua. Say that again, Angelique. I challenge everybody to put that out there. Motivation follows me because my commitment is stronger than how I feel. My commitment is stronger than the coronavirus. Last Monday night, not this past, I was laying in the bed with the coronavirus. I was so tired I could hardly go to the bathroom. But man, Vanika wrote a message as she put a message under my previous Motivational Monday at the same time that I was supposed to be doing Motivational Monday then. I said, coronavirus, my commitment is so strong that coronavirus can't keep me in this bed. I just broke bread. My commitment, my intrinsic commitment is so strong that my external environment can't keep me from getting to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm fully committed. What are you fully committed to? If you find out what you're fully committed to, the results that you're driving in your life will absolutely change. And that's why I said always be a person of value, because you never can tell which one of your words out of your mouth somebody is going to take to the next level. Angelique, you keep going on and being a creator no matter, and I go to your YouTube page, well, no matter you got 2 likes or you got 2,002 likes, you keep going. It doesn't matter what, same thing, keep putting out your video. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's the commitment level that I have that's going, you can't be a person that's more committed. I'm willing to give me for this. I broke bread right there. I'm willing to give me for this. I'm willing to give me for this. There is no greater commitment that I'm willing to die to what I believe I am in order to live to what God said. Boy, come on, Q. Every word matters. I'm breaking bread. Focus on the commitment and not the motivation. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to achieve it? You got to have this conversation to yourself. This is me and you having a conversation, but you got to, I was talking to Q. Q and I had a conversation earlier, and he was saying, man, I talk to myself. I have conversations, and I have to be brutally honest with myself. How honest are you in your conversations with yourself? Do you tell yourself the truth in those conversations? You can only get out of anything what you put in. Number one, focus on the commitment and not the motivation. I'm breaking bread right now. I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is good. Number two, seek knowledge and not results. Seek knowledge or seek wisdom and not results. If you focus on the excitement of discovery, improving, exploring, experimenting, your motivation will always be fueled. Seek knowledge and not results. Seek understanding and not results. If you focus on results, your motivation is going to be like the weather. It's going to be tossed from to to fro. My level of it, last night I talked about enthusiasm. My level of enthusiasm does not change whether I have 5 eyes or I have 5,000 eyes. Whether I choose to do a speaking engagement at the prison for free or whether I'm getting $2,000 for a 90-minute session. My level of engagement, my level of enthusiasm does not change because I'm more focused on the process than I am the results. I'm breaking bread right now. If you take your knowledge and your understanding, like I find that Solomon, the wisest guy ever to live on earth, he asked, God said, Solomon, you can have whatever you want. Solomon asked for one thing, wisdom. He asked for wisdom. My question to you is, are you asking God for money? Are you asking God for cars? Are you asking God for material? Don't you know that God got that money, cars, health, things are nothing to God? Don't you know that kind of stuff God to get to you in a heartbeat? You're asking God for those material things, and he's saying you should be asking me for wisdom. You should be asking me for understanding. You should be asking me, God, help me embrace the process. God, I believe, but help my unbelief. God, I need money. Or I need, God, help me at the end of the month have my bills paid. Ladies and gentlemen, trust your boy on this. Trust your boy on this. God is not concerned about that. He clothed the lilies of the valley. He clothed the birds in the air. And you think God cannot put heat in your house? You think God cannot get you from point A to point B in a car? I'm telling you, we got to open our mind and we have to begin to believe and think bigger. You asking for these things that if you only had wisdom, wisdom is the principal thing. If you have wisdom and understanding, you could get all these other things will be added unto you. It's like we're asking God, we're putting the cart before the horse. Oh man, God, I want a cart full of things and you don't have the horse. Wisdom is the horse. You got to have the horse in order to pull the cart, ladies and gentlemen. Seek knowledge, seek wisdom, and you can have all of these other things along the way. Embrace the process of becoming great. Stop judging yourself based on what the person to the left is doing or what the person to the right is doing. And I know it's easy to do on social media because people put out a lifestyle that may or may not be real for other people to covet, to wish they had. And I'm telling you, focus on your journey. Focus on increasing and improving you. You are enough in yourself. And the reason why I'm so far off my notes, and the reason why a lot of us do those things because we're insecure. about who we are, and we don't fully believe that what God gave us is sufficient to add these things unto me. I'm telling you right now, I'm a little kid from Waverly, Alabama. My daddy was in and out of prison my whole life. My uncles were in and out of prison my whole life on my dad's side. I'm the first male on my dad's side to get a high school diploma. I'm the first male on my mom and dad's side to get a college degree. I'm telling you, you are enough. I'm enough. Say that, Beniqua. Somebody need to say it. I am enough. What God, the gifts and the talents that God has given you is enough. You lack no good thing. What you have is enough. But you got to start building on the foundation that he gave you. Pour on breaking bread right now. 5 ways to get to your wants. Focus on the commitment, not the motivation. Number 2, seek knowledge and wisdom and not results. I'm not looking for results. Anything quickly gotten could be quickly lost. I'm breaking bread right now. That means that the roots aren't deep enough. You look at a bamboo tree. It takes 5 years to see it comes out the ground, and then it takes another 6 weeks to be the tallest tree in the jungle. Why? Because the roots run deep. The deeper your roots run, the more secure you are in your foundation, the less likely you are to be swayed left or right from what God has called you to do. And your character can withstand the blessing. I'm breaking bread. He's already blessed you with all spiritual blessings. The key is, how do I get my character so it can be attracted from the external to what I want to see in my life today? I'm breaking bread right now. Number 3, get rid of stagnated bread broken. Thank you. Get rid of stagnating thoughts. Get rid of thoughts that don't edify you. Get rid of thoughts that don't build you up. Get rid of thoughts that doesn't build you into nothing missing, nothing lacking, wholeness and soundness. Come on, Charles. I gotta get rid of thoughts. Thoughts become things. Like one thought, and that's why I tell you, be careful. Listen to your boy. Be careful what you say to people, because you don't know what thought you're triggering in an individual that can encourage them and motivate them, or that can deflate them. Thoughts become emotions, emotions become feelings, and soon those thoughts and emotions start build behaviors that build an attitude. Thoughts are, you ask Ant, what's the seed to success? What's the seed of success? It's one thought. That's why my favorite book says, let this mind that be in Christ also be in you. And I was having this conversation with a pastor earlier today, and he talked about, like, my only goal is to lead people to Jesus. And I'm not going to make this some spiritual thing, but I want to put this conversation on the table. He said, my only goal is to lead people to Jesus. And I said, it's okay to lead people to Jesus, but just by leading people to Jesus in itself, does that change that individual's life forever? It doesn't. It's letting this thought, this mind that be in Christ, be also in you. That changes somebody's life. Not saying, you know what, man, I believe he died on the cross. That's good, don't get me wrong, but it's adopting the mindset that leads people to living better lives. It ain't because, well, I believe today that I accept Jesus in my heart. That in itself is not going to change your life while you're on earth. It gives you fire insurance for the future, but it's not going to change your life on earth. You got to create new thoughts. You got to create, I'll tell you, when I was laying in the bed and I knew I wasn't feeling my best when my son called, because we quarantined within the house, different levels, when he was calling me like every hour just to check on me. Dad, you good? Dad, you good? I said, it must don't look good on the outside. I said, obviously it doesn't look good on the outside, but in my mind, all I knew was that I'm whole, I'm healed. Every cell in my body lines up with the word of God. I said, man, it must not, I'm telling you right now, I said, man, it must not look good on the outside, because he sounds concerned when he's calling me, but on the inside, all I know is that I'm the healed of God, maintaining my health. Every cell in my body lines up with the word of God. Those thoughts Those thoughts is why I'm sitting here last night. It's why I'm here tonight, because I've strung together 3 or 4 thoughts that created an emotion, that made a feeling, and the feeling of that I'm the healed of God maintaining my health. You got to start changing your thoughts. You got to start waking up in the morning. How can I express the highest version of myself today? That salvation is mine, soteria. There's nothing missing, nothing lacking in my life. There's wholeness and soundness in my life. I don't care if you ain't got 2 nipples to rub together. You got to start stringing together thoughts that create what you want and not where you are. Bread broken. I just broke bread. You can never outperform your own thought life. God can never do more in your life. The great I am can never do more through your I am than your own personal thought life. Boy, I just broke bread. Well, it just seems like I can't get ahead. It's your thought life. Every time I take 2 steps, it seems like I get knocked back 3. It's your thought life. Your thought life is knocking you back 3 steps. What you seeing is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Change what you think. You can change what you see. Get rid of thoughts that don't edify you or build you up. It doesn't mean that I'm not having real conversations. What's up out there, Tabo? It doesn't mean that I'm not having real conversations with myself. It just means that when I have a thought that's not my original, I have to take it captive and I have to put thoughts out in the universe to replace that thought. I am more than a conqueror. I lack no good thing. Speak what you want to see. I am beautiful. I am enough to accomplish the total will of God for my life. I am enough. Get rid of stagnating thoughts that keep you. My boy Ricky Pitts used to say thoughts that give us paralysis of the analysis. That I sit there and I think so long about what I'm not or what I've been through that I can't move into the future. I can't move into the future. We got to change what we're thinking. Number 4, number 3 was get rid of stagnated thoughts. Number 3, I'm about to break bread on this one. Live out of your imagination. I am about to break bread. Live out of your imagination. Stop living from what you know. I'm breaking bread right now. Stop living out of your history. Stop living out of your past and start living out of your future. And I love when God said, I'm the one who was, is, and is to come. I'm all 3 at one time because what I went through in my past has built me to be what I am now. And what I will be tomorrow is all about me living out of my imagination. I don't live, man, even last week when I couldn't hardly get out the bed, I wasn't living my reality right now. I was living out my imagination that this too shall pass and I'll be out there chasing balls for my kids in one moment. I will be over here going to buy my wife flowers in one moment. This too shall pass. Live out your imagination. Eyes, that's why you hear scriptures, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what's laid up to them. It's according to the power that lives in you. Live. If you get nothing else out of this tonight, live out your imagination as it relates to your marriage. Write down the marriage that you want. And don't be carnal when you're writing down the marriage that you want. Write down the amount of money that you want in your life. Write down how many people you want to bless with your gift. That's why you always hear me say, I am the motivational teacher to the masses. Truth be told, I see 11 eyes looking at me. But these 11 eyes are not the reality of the masses. Live out of your imagination. I love just asking my wife 5 years from now, what do you want to be doing? I want to be running my own gym. I want to be running my own school. 5 years from now, what kind of car do you want to drive? Let's go to this neighborhood and just drive through and look at all of these nice houses. I take my sons and I take my kids and I say, come on, let's get in the car. Let's go over to the Hawks. And I call some friends and we go in the locker room with the Atlanta Hawks players. And I impart vision. And I say, son, live out your imagination. I'm breaking bread right now. I pay for the expensive seats when we go to the Hawks game, not because I'm a bigwig, because I want them to know what it feels like to be on the floor of an NBA game. When we go to Kumon and we go to a mathnasium and I'm taking them, I want you to live out your imagination. You're taking the ACT. You're a scholar athlete. Live out your imagination. Stop putting self-imposed and limitations on yourself and live out of what can be. What can the great I am do through your I am? What do your eyes have not seen? He's telling you to live out of your imagination. With your children, impart vision. Don't talk to your kids like they are today. Talk to your kids like what they can be tomorrow. Son, I'm telling you right now that you're the valedictorian of your class. It doesn't matter right now that you got, you got 4 B's and 1A, 1C. It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. I'm not speaking where I am today. I'm living out my imagination. When I talk to my wife, I talk to my wife out my imagination. I see your gymnasium with our logo on the top of it. I see the lives of the kids that we're impacting for the kingdom of God. I see that we're encouraging people to live from their great I am. Impart vision into your spouse. Impart vision. Help your family members live from their imagination. I got a family member who doesn't feel they feel that they let the family down because I didn't get a degree. I say, hey, look at here. Don't you dare cry one more night about you not having a degree. If you don't have one, that means you didn't have to do what God has already called you to do. Get out and do what's in your heart to do and stop wallowing over what happened in the past. Stop living out your past and live out your imagination. Don't you know every thought that you have create new connections in your brain? That once you begin, I was watching the news yesterday, and I can't remember the guy's name. He went up in SpaceX. He was one of the first people to go up in space. And he said the first time he went up in space, he said that he had a terrible headache for the first 3 days because his brain didn't know how to turn off Earth living and go to living with no gravity. And he said it took him he had the worst splitting headache. He spent the first 3 days sitting down taking Advil because of the headache. And he said that when he went back the second time, that his brain remembered how to flip from living on Earth to now living in zero gravity. That his brain had made the corrections that when he went into space the second time. I'm telling you right now that your brain makes connections. And the moment you start living out your imagination, it's going to create new connections. And the more you do it, the more those connections start becoming a reality. And your body can't tell the difference when your brain is having an experience just through thought or whether you're having it naturally in the flesh. Your body can't tell the difference between the connections in your brain and what you're doing naturally. So you got to begin to trick your body into believing these new connections. You got to trick your mind into start believing out of your imagination rather than your past. Man, I was on that way longer than I wanted to be. Getting rid of negative thoughts is how you put your imagination to use. When things go well, you are full of positive energy. When you're experiencing difficulties, you need even more energy. You need more enthusiasm. Come on, Tabo, I'm going to break bread tonight. You need more enthusiasm. You need more energy in those moments, man. If you get nothing else, start to live from your imagination. Start talking to yourself like, man, how can I express my highest image today? What can I do today that was above and beyond what I did yesterday? Like, God, what is it that you, great I am, God, what is it that you want to do through my life today that I give you access to do on this earth? I'm breaking bread right now. I'm talking about how to change your life. And not only change your life, but change the lives of people around you. I just broke bread. Number 4 was live out of your imagination. And number 5 is how I started this conversation. It's going to be how I end this conversation. 5 ways to get to your wants. Number 5 is build, baby, build. Build, baby, build. Don't worry about what it looks like today. Anything that was great started small. But in order for it to be great, you have to start. Don't worry about what they're saying about you right now. You don't have a Ferragamo belt, or you don't have the most expensive shoes. You don't have this, and you don't. Right now, I'm building, baby. Right now, I'm building. And don't judge me based on they called Noah a drunk. They told Noah you were unfit. They told Noah that you crazy. They sit there building. All the time they were talking about Noah, he was saying it was going to rain. I'm telling you right now, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. And it's going to be the same people that laugh at you and that went right by you. Going to be the same people that's going to need you to show them how to build. Anything easily gotten can be easily lost. But when you take the process and you embrace the process to build, baby, build. Thank you, Angelique. Build, baby, build. Martin Luther King said, don't burn, baby, burn. Build, baby, build. Build yourself that you are so valuable that people will beat down a path to get to you to do the one thing that you do. Right now, I'm telling y'all right now, and I see the shift in my motivational Mondays, and I see the shifting in my speaking that the great I am is helping me build my awaken I am into something that I can't hear on social media right now. When I was listening to people, I started, and I started with 2015. I would listen to a bunch of people and I was sounding like them. But now my sound is starting to become unique. Why? Because I've been building. Charles, I've been building, big dog. I've been building. And the results of my building, or the results are that the words that I'm speaking have spirit and they have life. I'm not worried about validation to say, man, that boat is nice. We're not looking for external validation. We know internally that if I become of so much value that the world would beat down a path to me to solve their problems. Build, baby, build. And what you're building, the roots will run so deep that in 3 generations after you've been put in that pine box, they are still talking about the foundation that you laid. I'm laying the foundation right now so that Anthony the Fifth, and I'm Anthony 1, I'm laying the foundation right now so Anthony the Fifth can talk about what great granddaddy did when he was on earth. I'm laying the foundation, baby. Build, baby, build. You don't know who's connected to your building. I'm telling you right now that there's a life out there for you. And somebody sent me, and if you was on here last night, somebody sent me I got a DM, an inbox about, I was talking about enthusiasm last night. And I got an inbox that said last night, there's a lot of people going through a lot of things right now, and be sensitive to what people are going through. You say you're talking about enthusiasm, but somebody just lost a loved one. Or you talking about enthusiasm and somebody just lost their job. You're talking about enthusiasm and somebody just got coronavirus. And I simply, man, like y'all know, I'm the motivation teacher to the masses. I'm not gonna get in any wars. I just say, thank you, and I appreciate your feedback. But I gotta break bread that right now. No, this is when you need enthusiasm. My wife and I, we had an uncle to die for coronavirus. We had, my job is just laid off. My whole house just had coronavirus, and I'm talking about enthusiasm. The question is why? Because there is no such thing as lack and despair in my household. Yes, we're going to talk about enthusiasm. You need enthusiasm more in times like this than you need in a roaring hot economy. You need it in times like this. And I'm telling you, the more and more you fall in love with building and you have that enthusiasm like I talked about last night, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, your future, let me say it this way. Let me say it this way, that your reach is so far that other people will be able to eat from your blessing. You want to know when you're blessed, ED? When other people can glean from your blessing. Hey, what's up, Tina? Thank you for joining us. When other people can glean from your blessing. Not only am I now being blessed by my blessing, but I got 4 or 5 other families that's connected to us and being blessed by my blessing. That's how bright your future is. You see, you're only trying to get enough for you. And I'm telling you that God has something so much more. Go get every pot in that. I know you said you got 1 cruise of oil. You're going to bake you one bread. You and your kids going to eat this bread and you're going to die. I'm telling you, stop just asking for enough for you. I'm breaking bread right now. Got to catch the replay. Thank you, Angelique. Stop just asking for enough just for you. God is a God of abundance. I came so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. Stop just looking out for enough for you. That's why you're struggling right now, because you're only looking out for you. You gotta build a boat so big that people can come in 2 by 2. That if God wants to sustain life through my lineage, I will give him the capacity to be able to do it by not having limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts. I just broke bread. Build it, and they will come. Ladies and gentlemen, I broke bread on a Tuesday night. I'm going to challenge y'all. Back now, Q. I'm going to challenge y'all. Go back. Listen to this 4 and 5 times. Go back to enthusiasm. Like now, I've got now where I have on my phone, I can make my YouTube hook up to my TV in the bedroom, and I put it on, and I go, and when I'm showering, I'm turning the TV up to about 60 or 70, and I'm listening to it. Or before I go to bed, I put it on, and I go to sleep with it, and I wake up with it, because right now I'm building. I'm building. I'm focused on come on, Vaniqua, focus on the commitment, and I'm not listening to it for motivation. I don't need to be motivated. I'm feeding my commitment to what I could go on. Let me get off this thing. I gotta go a whole nother 20 minutes. I can go another 20 minutes because this stuff is like fire. Shut up in my bones, man. I'm seeing results that I've never seen before. I'm hearing stories from people about how they're improving their lives. It's giving me confidence that what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, that I don't know what God wants to do with your life, but I'm telling you that you got to upgrade the version of who you believe you are in order to see it completely through. Ladies and gentlemen, I just broke bread. When you go back and listen to this replay, put #2, #3, #4. I want to know how many times are you listening to it. I want to know, are you in this word becoming one? Or are you not only a hearer, but now you're starting to become a doer? You gotta let this stuff marinate. And like Vaniqua, every time she goes on, I see she put something new that she didn't get the first time. And I'm not saying this for my ego, and I want you to listen to this because of my ego. Listen, man, I am of no reputation, so that I have become of no reputation like Paul. I don't want you to listen to this for my ego. I want you to listen to this so this word can marinate from the inside, and you start to create new thoughts. And you start to believe that there's more to you. And as you begin to connect those new thoughts, you begin to attract a new reality in your life. Don't do it don't do it for my self-confidence. Do it for yours. I just broke bread. Thank you, Tina. Ladies and gentlemen, Vaniqua just said it. You got to focus on your commitment. If you're not committed enough to say that I'm going to let this marinate, I'm going to listen to it 5 or 6 times, and you say, man, God, I want to start outreach where I'm helping, multiple families across my community, and you're not committed to listening, Ladies and gentlemen, you're lying to yourself. How can two walk together lest they agree? I'm telling you that building is putting it inside of you is first. Like you focus on what's external, but I'm telling you, you got to build the internal first. And listening to this and begin to put these words into operation is building the internal. You got to hang out with your boy a little longer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, you got to hang out with your boy. I'm going to get off this thing. I said I'm going to go on 55 minutes in, but I want to thank you all. You two, you was on fire tonight. You two, you were on fire tonight. Angelique, Vaniqua, Tina, thank you all for joining us. Lisa, thank you all for joining us. Pat, got a lot of messages out here tonight. You two was on fire. I'm challenging you all to go back and listen to this 4 or 5 times. And Talbot, Virginia, thank y'all. Virginia logged on. That's what I'm talking about. She logged on Facebook and YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. That's commitment. That's making sure I don't miss anything. But hey, man, thank y'all for spending time with me. I'll tell you one thing that I would never do. I would never take your time for granted. And I appreciate every moment that you spend with us, because I do believe that there's something God has given me. And I do believe, like I told Q earlier, I'm not looking for a fan club. I'm looking for a few committed people, and we can be these are they that are turning this world upside down. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. And until next time, if you all go to my YouTube page, subscribe, Williams Inspire, Facebook, Williams Inspires, Twitter at Wage and War 32. I'm on all 3. I am your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. I'm out.